good morning, everyone. Good morning, my dear students. So again, this is Mom Jelena Reyes, and for today's discussion, we are going to talk about population, or chapter 2 of environmental management system. So again, this is divided into series of discussion para naman maiwasan natin yung over information or overwhelming of information na matatanggap ninyo, ano? So to be able to discuss it clearly, I have divided it into series. So this is the part 1 of our discussion, which is the population. So makikita natin ngayon how does population really affects, okay, yung ating environment. And as we're going to go back on the chapter 1, napag-aralan natin dito that overpopulation po is environmental problem, 'di ba? Na tinutukoy po natin. Marami tayong mga environmental problems na nabanggit doon at isa ito si overpopulation na tinutukoy natin bilang problema. Ngayon, pag-aaral natin or may ilalaborate po natin kung bakit nga ba tinatawag natin or kina-classify natin si population bilang isang problema na pang-environment, no? So, of course, we're going to have our learning objectives. So, learning objectives are our goal. Dapat ito yung mga matututunan natin at the end of the chapter. So, at the end of the chapter, we're going to identify the pros and the cons of population growth. And we're going to understand the density and magnitude of population. And lastly, we're going to rationalize how overpopulation puts compelling pressure on the planet. But for today's discussion, mag-focus muna tayo on the population as a whole and the pros and cons of the population. Okay, so let's start. Let's start by looking at the current situation of the Philippines right now when it comes to population. So the current population as of 2017 pa to ha, hindi to 2021, is nasa 103,322 na. And as of 2020, nag-range siya ng 108,000 to 109. Oh, mali. 103 million. Sorry. 103,322,634 as of 2017. Okay? And as of now, okay, umaabot na to of 108 million hanggang 110 million. Okay? Filipinos. So, ibig pong sabihin niyan, talagang there is growth on the term of the population po dito sa Pilipinas. Napakataas ng growth natin. So, napakahalaga din that we are having this kind of discussion. So, para nakikita po natin the effects of having the growth of population. So, the Philippines population is equivalent to 1.38% of the world total population. So, 'di ba? Kahit na sobrang liit na bansa natin, talagang meron talaga tayong numbers, okay, portions of the population. So the Philippines ranked number 13 in the list of countries by population. Ako sa dami po ng population na or dami ng bansa ngayon, no? Kita natin napakaliit ng Pilipinas pero nag-rank number 13 tayo on the country's population. So, the median age naman natin in the Philippines ay nag-range siyang 24.4 years. Yun yung siguro pinakamarami na number of, or ano ba yun? Ito yung age group na pinakamarami as of now. Okay, so mga kabataan, yung mga yung number of people here in the Philippines. So, ano nga ba yung pros and cons of having this population growth na tinatawag natin? May positive effect din pala ang population growth sa atin. At ano naman yung mga negative, 'di ba, na effect nito sa atin bilang part of the environment. So of course, iisa-isahin natin Etong mga 'to. So, start tayo siyempre dun sa positive muna para naman happy muna tayo 'no. So, the first effect or the first positive effect of population growth is first, defense. So, large population makes it possible to rally a sufficient number of citizens to protect the nation in times of war and any other struggles. So, line of defense po natin kapagka marami, okay? Kapagka populated ang isang bansa. Of course, marami tayong source of defense. Siyempre, 'di ba, sabi nila the more the merrier, or two is better than one. Ganun lagi yung theme natin, no? So, ibig sabihin, syempre, pag mas marami yung mga tao that are located in a certain place, mas mapoprotektahan niya in terms of kapag may mga dumating man na unexpected na war. So, yan yung first positive effect of population. Second is increase in labor market. So, increasing population guarantees boost in the labor force. Siyempre, kapag mas marami tayong tao, ibig pong sabihin, yung human resource po natin ay mas mataas. So, ibig din sabihin nun, if mas marami yung mga tao na nandito, mas marami tayo ngayon na human skills na tinatawag. So, sabi nga natin, di ba, to be able to create yung artificial resources, ginagamitan natin yung human skills yon. So, ibig sabihin, pag mas maraming tao, mas marami ang pwedeng gumalaw. Mas marami ang pwede nating magamit into our human labor. Okay? And lastly, the large market. So, increase in population would necessitate more demand for goods and services, thereby requiring more supply of such commodities. So, maganda po ito yung population in terms of business. Kapag kayo ay mga businessmen or part of the business industry, part ng inyong mga opportunities is yung pagkakaroon ng mataas na population growth. Siyempre, pag mas marami yung tao, mas marami yung magiging mangangailangan ng iyong mga produkto. Okay? Siyempre, pagka mas maraming tao, mas marami ang may mga necessities. So, that's why it is part of the magiging opportunity to ngayon ng mga businessmen dahil hindi nila kailangan, 'di ba, na makipag-agawan dahil maliit yung market. So, dahil mas maraming tao, ibig sabihin nun, mas maraming chances para sa atin na makabenta. Okay? So, that are the pros. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, positive effect of having large population. Now, let's go to the negative effects naman. So, makikita pa lang natin yung difference ng dalawa. Talagang medyo mahaba yung listahan ng negative effects, no? So, let's start with the first one, which is poverty o kahirapan. So, alam natin that resources are limited and yung continuous increase in population would trigger more problems with respect to scarcity. So, alam natin na kapag maraming tao, marami din yung needs nila. Ano ba yung mga basic needs ng tao para mabuhay? Kailangan natin ng shelter, kailangan natin ng pagkain, kailangan ng water, kailangan ng clothing. Diba? So, ibig sabihin nun, yung mga needs na yun, saan ba natin kinukuha? Diba sa environment lang din nanggagaling yung mga raw materials ng mga yon. So, kung masyado tayong marami ng tao ngayon na nandito, yung limited resources po natin, baka hindi na niya talaga kayang ma-handle lahat ng wants at needs ng mga tao kapag overpopulated na po tayo. So, ibig sabihin nun, nagkakaroon tayo ng scarcity or kakulangan ng mga resources. So, dahil doon, ang result doon ay naghihirap yung mga tao. So, hindi sila ngayon nakakakuha ng trabaho, hindi sila nakakain ng sa tamang oras. It's because limited na nga yung resources na mapagkukuhanan po nila. Unlike, isipin natin kapag yung numbers of people are lesser, then ibig pong sabihin nun, pagka mas konti yung number of people, mas konti yung mag-aagawan dun sa resources. Okay? Next is unemployment and underutilization of labor. Hindi ba parang, magkabaliktad sila ng positive and ng negative. Kasi sabi niya kanina sa positive positive effect ng pagkakaroon ng overpopulation is nagkakaroon ng increase in the labor market. Pero ngayon, ba't sinasabi niya na may unemployment and underutilization of labor na mangyayari kapag masyadong marami ang tao? Kasi, a consequence, okay, if the number of people searching for work exceeds yung available resources natin. So, syempre, sipin natin, no? Yung number of businesses na meron naman tayo, okay, ay hindi naman kasing dami ng tao na nag exist sa mundong ito. So, kapagka, marami ng tao, ibig sabihin marami naghahanap ng trabaho dahil kailangan nilang makapag-provide or kailangan nilang matustusan yung needs ng household nila, no? So, ang nangyayari, nag-aagawan sila ngayon dun sa konting-konting resources na pre-provide yung mga businesses like yung trabaho. Diba? So, dahil sobrang dami na nila at konti lang yung trabaho na nai-offer, nagkakaroon tayo ngayon ng unemployment. Mas marami tuloy yung walang trabaho. It's because ang dami nga nilang competitors para makapasok dun sa trabaho na yon. Tapos, underutilization of labor, ibig sabihin, marami ngayon yung mga tao, 'di ba sabi natin malawak yung ating labor market o yung mga tao na naghahanap ng trabaho masyadong marami. So, ibig sabihin, dahil sa sobrang dami na nga nila, ay hindi na po natin sila lahat, okay, na pagtatrabaho. Kasi sa sobrang dami na nga ng mga tao na walang na naghahanap ng trabaho and yung available lang na work are very limited. So, hindi sila nagsuswak. The third one is the social problems. Ano tong social problems? Tulad ng bribery, human rights violation, prostitutions, armed robbery, and some problems due to overpopulation. So, di ba, tingnan natin, no? Try natin maging observant. In a place where sobrang daming tao, kadalasan dun mas maraming crimes or social problems. Kasi, on that area, maraming tao yung talagang nangangailangan talaga sila. Talagang may needs talaga sila, no? So, ibig sabihin on that area, then, okay, napaka-limited na ng resources, masyado ng narrow, okay? Wala na talaga silang mapagkukuhanan ng mga pangangailangan nila. Kaya sila nakakapag-isip ng iba't ibang crimes, okay? Tulad ng, ayan, yung bribery, yung prostitution, dahil yun na lang yung available wala ngang work So, saan sila kukuha ng kanilang needs? So, armed robbery yan, yung nagnanakaw sila ng mga, nagnakaw sa bangko, ganyan. And yung mga iba pang mga problema dahil nga sa pagkakaroon ng sobrang daming tao. Next is decrease in the standard of living. Bakit nga ba, no? Kapag dumadami yung tao, mas bumababa yung paraan ng pamumuhay ng mga tao. So, it's because of demand for basic necessities and essential commodities become highly competitive. So, those who can afford are in the better shape, bringing a wide gap and a fall in the standard of living for those who are deprived and underprivileged. So, sabi natin, iba-iba naman yung sitwasyon na kinalakihan natin. Okay? Hindi naman natin mapipili kung saan tayo pinapanganak, right? So, ibig sabihin, kapag masyadong marami yung population po natin or masyadong maraming tao nga, yung mga needs po natin, ang hirap nang i-provide. Okay? So, sino lang yung nakapag-provide or nagkakaroon ng mas magandang way ng pamumuhay, syempre yun lang yung sa may mga kaya, no? So, anong nangyayari? Nagkakaroon ng malaking gap ngayon between yung mga mayayaman at mahihirap. Okay? So, kadalasan, syempre, yung mga mahihirap dahil dun sila, yung situation na meron sila, they're underprivileged and they are deprived dun sa opportunities, di ba? And the resources. So, nagkakaroon ngayon ng malayong gap, okay? Ng pamumuhay. Mapapansin nyo naman 'di ba? Yung way of living ng mga mayayaman and then ng mahihirap talagang napakalayo at hindi na talaga wala nang equality equality na tinatawag, on the sense of, yung pamumuhay ng tao. It's because of the overpopulation. And increase in government expenses. So, 'pag dumadami yung tao, nagkakaroon tayo ng increase in government expenses. Bakit nga ba? Ano nga ba yung mga public expenditure na, nai-incur natin kapag maraming tao? Siyempre, 'pag maraming tao of a country, yung collective needs and wants of its people, such as yung mga, education, health, pension, provision, and infrastructure are, being needed, 'di ba? So, siyempre 'pag maraming pinapanganak na bata, mag-aaral 'yan, tama? So, 'pag nag-aral sila, sa dami nga nila, right? So, sa poverty, kawalan ng trabaho and resources, syempre si government, part of kanyang responsibility is to provide education for those students. So, nakikita nga natin before the pandemic comes, di ba? Problema yung classroom, problema yung mga textbook, problema yung numbers of teachers na magtuturo. Lalo, di ba, on a rural areas na mahirap nang i-reach. Kahit nga, sabi natin sa mga urban areas even in Manila, right? So, nagkakaroon pa rin sila ng problema. It's because of the overpopulation of, ayun nga, nung mga people located in the certain area. So, ibig sabihin natin dito, kapag dumadami yung tao, dumadami din yung expenses ng government po natin. So, syempre, kailangan po nilang mag-provide ng, di ba, mas marami ngayon na mga commodities dun sa mga taong nadadagdag. Like hospitals, ganyan. Siyempre, mas maraming nanganganak, mas maraming nagkakasakit because of the overpopulation. And also, we are going to expect, as a negative effects, yung shortage of food. So, nasabi natin kanina that habang dumadami yung tao, dumadami yung needs. And sa needs natin are foods. Increase in population equals more mouth to feed. So, ibig sabihin, mas dumadami yung kumakain. So, however, population increases at much rapid pace compared to food production, resulting in shortage in the supply of food. So, kapag mas mabilis na tayong dumami kaysa dun sa pagtubo ng palay, no? From palay to bigas, ibig sabihin talagang mahihirapan tayo na i-provide lahat ng pangangailangan, or ang nakakuha lang talaga ng kanilang mga needs ay yung mga capable. At yung mga deprived and the poor are really, mas lalo silang nalulugmok. It's because of the overpopulation. And lastly, difficulty in educating the children. Ito yung pinaka last siya on the list, but 'di ba? One of the main social problems na pwede nating ma-encounter due to overpopulation, isipin mo, sobrang dami mong anak. How are you going to discipline all of them, 'di ba? So, this is especially true for poor families who have a hard time meeting both ends and meet. So, much more sending their children to school. So, education becomes less of a priority. Young children are exposed and forced to find work in order to have means to buy foods. So, the need to survive is the utmost important. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nito, yung mga magulang that are poor or hindi talaga sila, or they're on the edge, no? So, parang everyday, um, talagang ano lang sila, no? Nagtatrabaho lang sila to be able to satisfy yung needs natin today. So, paano kaya nila mai-provide yung education ng mga anak nila? So, ibig sabihin, dahil sa sobrang busy na rin ng parents to be able to survive, 'di ba, yung kahirapan, then nagkakaroon talaga ng problems on the means of education ng mga anak nila. So, not just sa when we talk about the education in the proper education sa school, but also the education socially, morally, no? So, doon tayo nakapag-produce ng mga social problems, na mga crimes na nagagawa ng mga tao, ng mga bata or kabataan, because they are forced to do those things dahil wala naman silang opportunities, wala naman silang choices, no? So, kulang or deprived sila of choices. That is why nag-a-arise yung mga ganong klaseng problem. So, alam naman natin that there are certain ways sana, no, to be able to cope up. So, hindi naman lahat ng tao na poor, okay, ibig sabihin natin doon ay may mga social problems na meron pa rin tayong mga tinatawag na mga nagsusumika. Pero, when we are going to compare the numbers of the people who are 'di ba, yung sinusubukang magsumikap comparing dun sa numbers ng mga tao na madaling sumuko, mas marami talaga 'no, yung mga tao that chooses or forced na lang talaga sila to do wrong things just to survive. Okay? So, that are the effects of overpopulation 'no. Makikita natin how the negative effects really outgrow the positive effects. Napaka walang sense nung mga positive effects ng overpopulation comparing natin dun sa pahirap na pino-provide nung pagkakaroon ng overpopulation natin ngayon. Okay? So I hope na naging clear sa atin the pros and cons of overpopulation. On the next discussion, we are going to discuss the strategies to lessen population growth, and we're going to understand the problem of population, no? So, at the later discussion or series of this chapter, we are going to learn that. But for now, I hope that you have learned the lesson for today, which is yung ating population growth. Okay, so that is all for this series. So, see you on the next one.